Good evening, everyone. My name is Max Janes. I'm working with PAMS Foundation. PAMS Foundation is a not-for-profit organization, but it is in 2011, PAMS Foundation initiated a project in Ruvuma, called the Ruvuma Elephant Project, and the area covered 2 million hectares, which consist of village and agricultural land, forests and game reserves, and also community-based conservation areas. The main and key objective for PAMS Foundation are as follows. Although the most focused objective for PAMS Foundation is relying on in law enforcement, which means most particularly in controlling poaching, in particularly elephant, but again understanding seasonal movement of elephants in the project area, managing human-elephant conflict, and also to support the development income generation activities or projects. Having in mind that our main concern is relying on poaching, in particular for elephants, as it was in the area of our concern, the elephant poaching was very serious in southern Tanzania, and particularly Selu and the corridor in between Niassa National Reserve in Mozambique and the Selu Game Reserve in Tanzania. We took into consideration that we'll need to have to consider about the people livelihood as the positive outcome of and poaching initiative. We knew that once we control the poaching, it's obvious that the number of elephants is going to be high, and we are going to expect human-elephant conflict to rise up. So we came with various strategies to mitigate human-elephant conflict. We tried various numbers of strategies, but in our case, we found that use of chili pepper fence worked properly, and in that case, we received a proper training from Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute on how to use chili pepper, and this chili pepper, this kind of chili is a specific chili called scientific name is a Capsicum frutensis. This method we are really performing very well in our area, and the approach behind the success of this method was just to train the farmers to grow chili, but again, we buy the same chili from farmers and we supply them free of cost, and again to supply other materials which are used for this kind of technique. Implementation of chili pepper fence. The specific amount of chili pepper is the specific amount of grounded chili pepper is mixed with the used engine oil. The specific amount again, because it varies according to the size of the farm, and after that we used a special mutton cloth, which is cotton material, and the sisal ropes. We mix together with the mixture of used engine oil mixed with the grounded chili, and then After there, we hang cut the mutton cloth with in between the two ropes. Sorry, have to read now. Mixture, mutton cloth and scissor rope are soaked into the mixture and then tied onto packed wooden poles placed at an interval of 7 to 10 meters apart. And a piece of soaked mutton cloth are tied onto the two strands of scissor rope at the center of two successive poles. After we do like this, you can see we have two ropes which we tie the piece of mutton cloth in between, and the distance from the ground to the upper rope is 2.5 meters, while the lower rope is 2 meters. And this method has to be reapplied after 7 days if at all it rains, but it should be reapplied after 21 days if it doesn't rain. Using this method alone is more than effective to our area. But again, if the area is so problematic in terms of elephant interaction, there is another method to complement together with this one, whereby we use the chill brick. Chill brick is made by using cow dung and the grounded chill pepper. You mix together and you make a brick, and you left it to dry on the sun like 2 to 3 days. Thereafter, we place the chill brick on the entrance route of elephants, while inserting the charcoal so that it burns and gives a kind of smell which is really, elephants, they don't like that smell. And actually in this case, what affects the elephant is the smell of chill. There's a certain chemical which affects the elephant. Here you can just see that as we started the project, we started with the anti-poaching initiatives, focusing on elephant poaching, but it was in 2011, but the other year, which was 2012, we came to realize that the problem of human-elephant conflict is coming up, and then is where we started coming up with the human-elephant conflict mitigation technique. You can see the red highlighted bars shows that the rate of human-elephant conflict is compared to the elephant poaching on the particular year. So you can see when you started, the number of elephant the rate of elephant poaching was higher, and the the incidence of human-elephant conflict was even lower. But as the years goes up, number of human-elephant conflicts went up, and the elephant poaching goes down. For instance, last year we had the incidence of 6 people being killed by elephants. So you can see that the incidence of human-elephant conflict went very high, while the number of rate of elephant poaching is getting down year by year. Up to now, we have managed to erect about 156 kilometers of Chile fence covered since we started. as I said, it's 156 kilometers. The erected chill fence are about 99% effective and have proved to not be destroyed or crossed by elephant. We have secured hundreds of community members from elephant invasion and crop damage. Farmers generate income from growing chill as we buy the chill from them, and then we supply back to them so as to support them to protect their crops and the properties. Actually, we also had some challenges together with it, and we recognize these challenges. First challenge is shifting cultivation. Most of the farmers in our area, they practice shifting kind of cultivation. So you find that it's not like we can have common farmers in this area, but next coming year, they are not there. They went even further area where there could be even more problem of elephants. Another one is farming into buffer zone. Most of other villagers, they farm in the buffer zone where is restricted. The agricultural activities and the human activities are not allowed, but they are in the buffer zone. So in this case, it's difficult for our side to assist them to get protected against elephant invasion, because it doesn't make sense to assist somebody who is against the law, because these areas are not allowed for any human activities. And again, we do that because so as to discourage them not to go to the buffer zone. So we just tell them, if you go to the buffer zone, we won't help you to protect your crop and your properties. Improper implementation of chill fence technique by other stakeholders or farmers. Other farmers, they do practice chill fence on their own without getting consultation with because we are working with the wildlife management areas. They don't get the consultation with their leaders. They don't get consultation with the government. We also work with the government, and even from us direct. So in that regard, you may find that they do the same kind of technique, but it's not properly done. So in this case, they find themselves the method is not working properly, or sometimes is not working at all. Poor knowledge in community members about basic elephant behavior. When we started the project, our project down there, we did a survey to study about how people they do protect themselves against elephant invasion, and we came to realize that they are using the very traditional means to scare away elephants. Like they were shouting towards the elephant during the night, lighting towards the elephants. So you may find that elephants, they get charged and they go towards them and cause death and even destroying and causing some injuries to farmers. So we found that most of them, they don't have even the basic knowledge on how to stay away from elephant, to stay safe from elephant and not to disturb them. So we learned that we have to discourage the traditional means of chasing elephants. We have the secret of towards our success as follows: proper implementation and replication of chill fence. This one, we insist on this, that they has to be done properly, because we have seen the other areas they have done it not like it should be done, and they started to complain. But once we went and practiced it the way we were taught, it is really performing 100%. Again, working with the village game scouts in implementing chili fence gives the entire community members an understanding and a sense of participation. It's like in our case, we started to involve village game scouts. We encourage village game scouts to grow chill, because it was difficult for just the normal community members to accept the introduction of this technique. But as long as we were doing the coaching work, which was involving directly by village game scouts and the rangers from the government, we saw that is of the privilege to encourage village game scouts to grow chili, because they are living in the community. They are staying with the other community members who are also farmers. It's better that we encourage the community, the village game scouts, so as they can be of the close example to the other village members. So it is very easy even for the community members to learn from their fellow community members. That is, other than learning from somebody coming from far or a strange man. So through this technique of using these village game scouts, the community members are now welcoming the technique, and they're asking to grow chill every now and then. Again, close involvement with the community members creates a successful workforce to the chili fence effective. In this case, the project itself is based on the community land, community-based conservation. So the community members were part and parcel of our work. So that is another tool of success towards this means. Then allow me to say thank you.
Any questions? Max, I think you'll have to switch off your...
Yes, yes.
Before you began the project, were the communities doing chili farming, or you can now start to use chili to introduce the farming of chilies?
No, before we started, the community members were not dealing with the chili. There was not something like that. It was us who introduced it to the community, but through community rangers, through village game scouts. We were working directly with the community rangers in poaching, and it was easy to convince, and even not like it is, the political leaders were encouraging stakeholders to assist them against, to assist people against the problem animals. So we saw as a chance that we can use the same rangers to help people to protect themselves and to protect their crops and their properties. So we introduced this technique down there.
And is it working for only elephants, or is it entirely
Actually, this actually, I don't have a research on that, but others, they said this bush pig, they were even getting away from it, but it's not researched. Yes.
Were there any issues with access to materials? I asked because of where I work, some people had tried to use chili pepper fences, and there wasn't like enough access to things like motor oil to actually.
Sorry?
Sorry, I should have taken it. Were there any issues with getting access to materials?
Access to material. You want to access material?
No, so where I work, people had tried to construct chili fences, but there were issues with accessibility of motor oil to be like applying
Uh, the area itself is big, and the access of material is because we are working with the many. One WMA has 10 villages. Another one, we have 5 WMAs. So some of the village members, they are staying far away from where our center is. And they just hear from fellow people that there's this means, but they didn't get that proper. They had to contact the leaders, because they have the leaders in each wildlife management area. They have to contact them. But before they contact them, they just trying that it's just to take a piece of cotton cloth, just soak it into the engine oil and hang it. But there's some other materials. So the accessibility of materials from us is there, but with the communication. The problem here is communication breakdown from the community members, other community members, to us, because we provide free of cost. Yeah.
Could you give me any idea on the cost per hectare or something like that?
Yeah, well, one of the, I can say one of the advantage of this technique is that the technique itself is cheap, because I can give you the total, but not now because I have to calculate. But we buy 1 liter of used engine oil for, it's less than $1 if I go with USD. And a chill siso, a siso rope, is a band of siso rope, is like 46,000, it's $20, like up like that, $20. And this kind of cloth, the mutton cloth, we just buy the used cotton cloth, which costs $50. You may get 100 pieces of mutton cloth, and it's big. It's like a big piece of 2 by 3 meters.
And how big of an area will that cover?
That materials.
Yeah.
It can go up to, because also in our implementation of this technique, we don't do like enclosing the whole farm. No, an individual farm. We just go to the area where the entrance route, so that we can protect. Let's say that we have 10 farms in this site, and then we want to protect. We can't protect individual farm. Rather, we just put the farmers, they cooperate together, and then they said that we have to start from the beginning and extend it up to the end. Maybe the end is into the bush. So they come with the farm, protecting the route up to the bush. And in erecting this fence, they just live like 10 meters away from edge of the farms. So from edge of the farm, 10 meters, they starting put the fence. So this materials I said about, they can protect up to 5 acres, but in a straight line, not to surround the individual farm, because it's going to be expensive.
Have you ever had any problem in finding enough motor oil to cover the whole area?
No, oil is not a problem, because we, like now, this season, it's raining season, and the problem of invasion of elephants to the farms and the people's habitat is higher during this season. But during the dry season, there's less problem of elephant invasion into the farms. So from the dry season, we put the order to the garage that and they just, that is not used by any, it is just, you can just access it even for free if you put the order in. So they sell it in very low price. So it's, the engine oil is not a problem.
So how long any storage?
How long does it remain important? Once
Yes. Yes, I said during the farming season, because even like maize they can stay for 3 months in a farm up to harvesting season. Since you grow up to harvesting season. Then, if it rains, say you have erected the fence already, and then if it rains, in 7 days you have to remove just the rope and the cloth, the hand mutton cloth, and then you mix them into another mixture of engine oil and the chili, and then you put it again. But if it doesn't rain, it can take up to 21 days. So 21 days, you calculate in 3 months is how many times you can, yeah.
I'm a bit worried about used engine oil because it is known that they contain cancerogens. So in the long run, you might create a buildup, chronic toxicity. Do you have alternatives?
Unfortunately,
Of locally produced oils, let's say sunflower oil, which people grow and then harvest.
unfortunately, to the moment we don't have alternative of it. But we sometimes, of course, it takes time to see that effect of it. But with the prevailing challenge and the problem and the magnitude of the problem, we have to opt the easiest means which is there. Because people are being killed, like last year, people were killed. So we are killed, but if we were laying on cancer, it's taking time. Yes, I'm talking this from experience of 6 years doing this activity, and it is so specific to my area where I did this one, and I was involved into it. And none of the erected fence were broken or crossed by elephants. So to me, I would even say 100%, but it can't be that way because no one can be 100% effective. So it's,
Don't be afraid to say it, it's 100%.
The trick is to say that